Muscle TV, proudly brought to you by Maxines, for the body you want, and Maxes, because life's too short to be small.
There's no cure for this one! 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 This one! This one! This one! There's no cure for this one!
Hello everyone, I'm Tony Doherty and welcome to a massive 7th season of Muscle TV. It's great to be back, and as you may have already noticed, we've made a few changes. But we'll still be bringing you all the stuff that you've grown to know and love on Muscle TV, plus some fantastic new features as well. We've got 24 unbelievable episodes in store, folks, and this year, the Muscle TV team and I will again be showing you everything you need to know about training, nutrition and supplements, and as always, going behind the scenes with some of the best athletes and bodybuilders in the country to see how they get it done. But also have heaps of new feature stories and segments, plus much more. So regardless of your experience level, if you're serious about your training, then this series will be an absolute must-watch week in, week out. You'll be glad to know in our huge first episode, we're featuring Muscle TV regulars and start off with a couple of fan favourites and two of the best rigs in the country, 4 times Mr Australia Scott Goble and IFBB pro Luke Schembri. Both Scotty and Luke are the best in the business for a reason, folks, because they always take it to the next level in the gym. And as great mates, they always take it up a notch with a bit of friendly banter too. They're great fun to watch, and tonight they're back in the gym with a hardcore leg session. Take it away, boys. Scott Goble is 38 and has been training for 24 years. Scotty's been around the scene for a long time, is very well liked and respected, and has won 4 Australian titles. Luke Schembri is an IFBB professional bodybuilder as well as a full-time professional firefighter, and is one of the longest-serving sponsored Max's athletes, one of our most popular guests on Muscle TV. He needs very little introduction.
We're keen for a big session today. I know you've been looking forward to getting 2 IFBB pros here to train quads together. So what are you laughing for? You competed at FitX?
Yes,
Didn't win the pro qualifier?
I didn't win the pro qualifier.
What's Scotty doing?
It's the aesthetic and the meathead today, so...
You paying me for this session? Am I charging you?
Absolutely not, mate. I'm in fact charging you.
But I know that Scotty would have made up for it by the very next week going to the Australasian IFBB, where it's always a stacked over 100 kilo lineup, and he would have regained, a bit of respect going in the over 100 kilos at the IFBB Australasians and winning in a very tough lineup. Is that right, Scott?
Well, instead I went somewhere where it's a little bit more difficult again, over in Perth, where they have an overall title.
How many people actually went in the over 100 kilo class in Perth?
There was only myself, but the overall title.
So
I
you
took
went
out
all the way to Perth, and you went in a
competition.
competition where you were the only person in there.
Was there anyone in the Australasia over 100s?
There was 2. Did you actually bring that trophy home, the one that you won in the over 100s in Perth?
Yeah, the trophy has made it home.
So you've become a trophy hunter. So
Well,
you
yeah.
lost the pro qualifier and now you're a trophy hunter.
An overall trophy hunter.
There's no overalls in the IFBB. It's been a big 12 months, hasn't it? Things sure have changed.
There was a few times that filming seemed to be postponed for some reason. As I was getting closer and closer to the show and in better and better nick, Luke seemed to be sort of making up for some lost time. I think maybe the only IFBB pro in recent history to get his pro card and regress. So yeah, he was begging for more time and postponing the shoot every week. So it's gotten further and further away, but we're here eventually, and we'll show everyone how it's done. We're going to do a quad session today, good body part for both myself and Luke. I've got some pretty dodgy knees, so I'm going to show some people how they can train their quads hard, even if they have a few knee issues.
By training legs, you're increasing your overall protein synthesis, hormone levels, you name it, legs are like key. If you're not training legs, you're only really doing half the job that you could be doing in the gym.
The bands are a form of accommodating resistance. So what that means is that they apply more tension to the muscle and to the movement in the part of the rep range where you get stronger. So normally on a leg press, as you get towards the top of the rep, you get stronger, so there doesn't feel like there's as much resistance. But when you're using the bands, obviously the tension gets greater and greater the straighter your leg gets. So it means more tension on the muscle and more stimulation. certainly find a way to train around the vast majority of injuries. We may not be able to do some super deep, heavy squats, but we can certainly move some weight and stimulate some growth. This is the sort of thing that you could do on the once a week, once every 5 days in your normal rotation. Got good range on those last ones.
Because the positions on your knees are in your chest, you can't breathe the whole time? Or? Oh, yeah.
You were going deep on those, real deep.
That was a very tough leg press, felt good. And we're going to go to another exercise I don't think I've ever done before, so keen to give it a go and see how it is, but a good start.
We're off to box squats now. We're going to sit back into a box. Again, it's a little bit easier on the knees. Probably involves a little bit more glutes, a little bit less quad. All right. So the idea when you're squatting is you keep your calves up against the box, and as you squat down, your calves stay in contact with the box the whole way. Kind of like that. So your lower leg, your tibia and fibula are perfectly upright the whole time. Puts a lot more emphasis on the hips, a lot less strain on the knee joint. It's a really good way to squat if you've got any sort of issues with your glutes. A lot of people have inactive glutes, so it'll really get them firing. You've really got to keep the weight through your heels as you do it, and you've got to thrust forward with your hips.
Look, it's different, haven't done some of this before. I mean, the older you get, like Scott, you've got to try these new things, you know. He's approaching 45, so he's got to be doing these things differently. I'm still able to do a normal squat where I don't have to sit on the bench like an old man, but I'm always willing to try new things, so we'll give this a go and see how it is.
It is more of a technique style movement, teaching a movement pattern, teaching muscles to fire in sequence, and then it is a traditional hypertrophy movement. Something that powerlifters use a lot because they want to get their glutes firing maximally to be able to lift a big squat. Your knees automatically have a tendency to want to drift forward, and Luke's slightly slender calves are making it easy for him to keep him up against the box. The bigger your calves are, the easier the movement is, so it's going to be a tricky one for Luke.
Look, I mean, I'm coming into Scott's gym, beating him on his exercises. It's kind of like the pro qualifier last year. I came to his city and beat him there, so I'm kind of used to it. I'm sure Scott is too.
I'm not so sure about the counting on the leg press. I know you got me on the last set, but I think I threw a little bit more volume in early on, so.
It's the difference between when you try to step up in the pros and, you know, still the amateurs, is you push it that little bit more. And I guess that's what I'm trying to do. So Scotty will get there. He'll get there. I mean, he's trying, but, you know.
We could apply some of Newton's laws about work is the weight over the distance that it's moved, and obviously I'm moving the weight a further distance. So if we got the physics books out, I think we'd see that I've done as much as Luke has here today.
So that's where, you know, bodybuilding, Newton's laws, physics, you know, it's all about how you look on stage. Judges don't really care about all that. You know, it comes down to how you look. So when Scott gets his head around that concept and out of his nerd ways, you know, he might go all right one day.
Next up, we're going to superset the leg extension and the V squat machine. Where knees and everything's pretty warmed up. Both of us have probably blown our lower back out a little bit on this one, so we're going to take a little bit of stress off that and just try and force a whole lot of blood in the quads.
That's the quad workout done. Quads are pretty pumped, both of us. Barely moved mine, so.
Yeah, I got a good session in. It was great.
All around it was pretty tough.
I think we covered everything. We got to move a little bit of weight. Got a lot of tension on the quads on the leg press. A unilateral leg extension. I like to chuck in one unilateral movement, so balance out any differences in the left and right hand side of the body.
There's definitely a few things I'll try in the future with the bands. Never used the bands before and actually quite enjoyed it. You are a bit smarter than you look, Scott. Not much, but a little bit.
I'm not sure if that's a compliment or I'm pretty sure it's an insult.
It was a good workout.
I think his quads are so full they don't even wobble anymore. So I think they just turned into a couple of concrete blocks by the looks of it.
My legs are pumped. Beautiful. I've learned a few more leg tricks from you and yeah, it was great. I'll use the bands again in the future.
Yeah, mate, a good session. Always fun to try and keep up in the weights you lift. Thank God it wasn't a chest workout.
Coming soon. Buddy. Thank you.
Pleasure.